I'm Shane with Lost Coast Longboarding and the Lost Longboarder blog. Today I'm showing you how to drop in on a longboard, specifically one without a tail. The longboard I'm using today and the longboard I use in skate parks does not have a tail, which makes it hard for kick turns and almost impossible for dropping in. But I've learned how, and I want to teach you how to. Alright, so when dropping in with a longboard, it's easier to learn and practice on flat ground, because without the tail, you don't have anything to hold your weight. There's no tail to hold the board. So when dropping in with a longboard, you're not starting on the board. You start behind the board and you jump onto the board as it falls, like this. So it's easier on flat ground, a lot easier, but you get the point. It's that same concept, that same feeling that you're dropping the board and jumping on it. So you really want to focus on where your feet are going to land. You want your foot in the middle, because if you're dropping in, you land toe side, it's going to go that way. If you land heel side, it's going to go that side. So you want it right even. And it's difficult, but you'll get the hang of it. All right, so after you master jumping on your board on flat ground, it's a gradual process, unless you're ballsy and you just go for it. But for me, it was a gradual process, and I started after the flat jump on the board. I learned to take it on ramps. So it's not coping yet. You get better by starting and practicing on different ramps. So I started on mellow ramps, and then a little bit more, a little bit more. So you can see this ramp's mellow over here. So this is a good spot to practice. There's no coping, which holds the bottom of the board a little bit. So you kind of got to be aware that the wheels are going to roll a little bit, but your momentum's going to carry you, and it's very minor. So going slow can actually hurt you, because your board might move faster than you. And if you go fast, one fluid motion, the momentum holds itself and keeps going. So you can start on a slope like this, or you could start back a little bit. So here's the flat ground, jump on it. Or you can just make the front wheels go over the lip. So it doesn't need to be all the way down. You can practice just by getting your front wheels a little bit closer to the edge. Cool, so after I did the wheels just a little bit, I'll try and get the wheels to go a little bit more. So I'm not all the way on the edge yet, but my board's getting there. All right, when you're drop, I have my feet back, and then I lift one foot and I kind of jump, and my board's still in the air when my foot hits it. So that gives me a sense of the location of my board and where it is in correlation with my body. I like to try and put my foot on the board before it's going down, before it's a decreased angle. So watch my foot as I do it this time. And then my foot, what I really aim for is the board. As my eyeballs, I'm looking right here. I'm not looking down there, I'm not looking at my wheels. I'm looking right where my foot's gonna go. Jump on it, put it right on it. All right, we made our way to a steeper wall. So this is more of a roll-in, not necessarily a ramp. So once you master jumping on the board on a ramp, you can transition to a wall. So this is more of a roll-in type deal right here. This is a good example because it's a little bit mellow on that side and it's a little bit steeper on this side. So as you're learning, you can start on the easy side and make your way to the steeper side, and then transition to the coping when you're ready. All right, so like I said earlier, on coping, the board's free and it's just gonna fall. But once you try on the roll-in, you see the wheels start to roll. So that can actually make it a little bit trickier, because the board's gonna move before it's free falling. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. I know my wheels are gonna roll, but I'm anticipating that and I'm looking forward All right, that one was pretty good. I mentioned before to try and hit the board before it's pointed down. But with a steep angle like this, you only fall so fast. So I hit the board, but it was past horizontal. Just keep that in mind. For me, I'm gonna maybe not jump so high before I get on it. I'm kind of just gonna jump less. Another thing I noticed, I keep mentioning the boards rolling here. And from my experience, I think that dropping in on a steep roll-in is harder than dropping in on mellow coping. So we'll check this out over here. All right, so here's coping, and this is a mellow ramp. And you can see how the other ramp's right over there. You can see how steep that is, and how mellow this is. The mellowness makes it so you're not going straight down. And also the coping right here, my wheels aren't gonna roll until there, but by then I wanna be on the board already. So you're good. All right, I mastered this shallow, mellow coping drop in. So I'm gonna try and find a bigger ramp, steeper ramp with coping. But this one, so this is connected. If you look down here, this is kind of angled, which can definitely make it more difficult when you're learning. So if I make my way over here, this is way too steep for my first attempt, and it goes right at a puddle. So I'm thinking this is not so bad. This is coping, this is on an angle, but it's mellow. Alright, so I dropped in off the coping on this ramp, not this one, but over there. Next step, I think I'm going to try and do a bowl. So after looking down at this, if you look down over here, this is where I'm going to try next. You can tell that it's kind of mellow, and I like the idea of dropping into a corner, because if I fall, there's a wall on either side kind of for me to grab, as opposed to if I fall, I'm just going down. So here, if I fall, I got some cushion, I don't have to fall as far. But it's kind of sketchy. I don't always wear a helmet, but when I'm doing something sketchy or something I'm unsure of, I have to throw it on. So, boom. I got the helmet on, but it's definitely obstructs my vision a little bit. So I'm gonna practice on the one that I already did a couple times with the helmet on, just to get used to what I'm seeing. Alright, I'm going for it. If you come over here and look, this is also something else you have to think about when dropping in, especially when you're learning. I'm gonna drop in, but then I'm going straight to a curve, straight to a drop and a bank turn. So I gotta be ready for it. I'm not just gonna hit flat and keep going. So, gotta plan a little bit. Wasn't perfect, but it'll work. My first drop into a bowl with a longboard. Go. right, well that's that. Now you know how to drop in with a longboard. It's up to you to muster up the courage to actually do it. But at least I was able to help you out with the basic principles. So go out there, be safe, wear a helmet if you think it's necessary, but most importantly, have fun at the skate park. And be nice to other people there. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.